Hey YouTube, today we're going to be covering some Daniel Ranked 2's games because he is sitting rank 1 in the world, and I was able to find some pretty interesting games where he hits some pretty fun plays. And we can maybe talk a little bit about North America because North America is going to be the focus a little bit more for us Ones fans as this next RLCS split starts, because 1v1 is no longer EU and Sam. Now it's going to be Mina and NA. And of course, Daniel, one of those guys that everyone is really excited to see whether or not he's going to be playing ones. You might be saying, but Feer, isn't this a 2v2 replay? Well, even when Daniel was dominating ones, there were not a lot of ones replays available for him. But last I've heard from Daniel, we're not even sure if he's going to play RLCS ones at all. I think we'd be really excited to see him come back and give it a strong effort. I felt like for the longest time, Daniel was the best player in the world, not just North America when it came to ones. But that was around when he was making his mark in the RLCS scene, or about to make his mark in the RLCS scene, which is how a lot of these top players do it. And now he doesn't seem to be quite as interested. Hopefully RLCS ones will be able to convince him to do it. Or maybe one day there'll be RLCS 2s, because Daniel is one of the best when it comes to 2v2 as well. In this first gameplay, he is going to be playing alongside Sathu, his coach on NRG, and then we're going to be seeing him with Chicago against the likes of Magic Bear, which I don't know if you guys heard, but there has been some spicy, I think I talked about it a little bit in my last video, but when I recorded that one, I didn't know the actual truth of everything that's going to happen, which is that Justin is going to be joining Gen G and Magic Bear alongside Cheese, and then it's going to be just a straight trade as Reddles heads over to Shopify Rebellion. So even though that's not what this video is about, this video is a Daniel 2's gameplay video. I'd be interested to hear what you guys think, or which team you guys think is going to finish better in this next split. You gotta imagine that Gen G's heavily favored too, because they already made the major and finished much better, and they are the ones who seemingly want to make a move to get even better, adding Justin. So by all means, it should be Gen G, but I have a feeling some people actually might think Shopify Rebellion could make a move with Reddles on their team. But a nice air roll from Daniel as his squad is up 3-0 here in this 2's game. One team that did not make any changes is NRG, despite not making it to grand finals like they always seem to do. But I think we can expect a bounce back from them. The reality is KC seem to be one step above, and we'll see if anybody can match them now that they've given the blueprint on how to dominate. If there's any mind who can maybe figure it out, it is that guy Sathu who's going to be cutting on this ball right here, as both people on the blue team miss. Daniel electing not to rush the ball to them. Instead, he's going to pass to himself off the ceiling, off the backboard, and double it in, because why not? Sure, he maybe could have tried to go for a power shot or a quick play that probably would have put them out of position and made it tough, but why not just score all at once to make it a 4-0 lead for Mr. Daniel and squad. Daniel backing off now. Sathu has offered him a pretty open net here. Neoflix able to make it back just in time, as Daniel now rotating back. We've seen a couple different times now this squad trying to bump Daniel. Probably not the worst idea ever when you're playing against him, but it's not going to work out, and the guy who was bumping actually had to back off there. We're able to cut off and prevent another goal from happening after 3 minutes into this game. Daniel passing to himself off the side wall, can't get the skim this time, so no crazy highlights as he rotates back. Daniel, a little bit safer of a player. His 2's duo that may just be the best duo in the world. We don't really have the kind of 2's tournaments to know for sure. Involves Beast Mode, who's a little bit more up in the action, trying to make stuff happen. Daniel liking to keep the game in front of him, although we find ourselves watching a POV of being ahead of the play, and Daniel's going to skim to the backboard. Okay, he can play in front of the ball as well. Daniel can play in front of the ball as well. It's not just all behind the ball. And the one time he does move upfield, Sathu finds him for a skim redirect into double on the backboard to make it 5-0 as the blue team trying to get a goal, just barely missing. The fact that they're sticking it out. I mean, this is a ranked game. Normally ranked games are given up on much sooner than this one is, but these guys want to see if they can put up a goal against the likes of Daniel, I imagine. And Kipper trying to make it happen right now. You can see Daniel, no faith in Kipper at all. It's just sitting out and waiting for the ball to come back down. He also wins a 50. Sathu cannot put the shot on target off the Daniel pass. What a pre-jump read into ceiling double and a 50, but cannot make a goal happen. Sathu trying to go for a Daniel-like read. That fake might work out. Oh, Daniel up to Sathu, back to Daniel. Nope, another touch. So these guys globe-trotting a little bit, trying to mess around, it would seem. Oh my, I thought for a second they were still not going to get a goal off that. But the blue team does get a goal. 5-1 in favor of North America's best twos player, although I'm sure some people out there are feeling like beast mode is getting robbed when I say that. They're going to lose the kickoff as well. Certainly they don't find a way to actually lose this game. Maybe the blue team is showing me why they stayed in it after all. As Daniel back into the corner has Sathu upfield. He tried to put it on an absolute platter for him. Sathu doesn't have the backboard double. This is, maybe the top pro in the game right now, or one of the top pros playing with his coach. Doesn't seem like the coach has been able to quite hit the kind of things that we expect to see from Daniel, as Sathu drops what was likely an unintentional pogo, though he does seem to be able to throw off the other team and let Daniel go to work, as he will pin one crossbar down, and then certainly they forfeit these 2 seconds. Yeah, nobody's going to stick out these 2 seconds, as the blue team does hop off, and we'll go watch another Daniel game for game number 2. For game number 2, Daniel is alongside Chicago, playing against Magic Bear and Barlos, and Daniel quickly going to work, tapping it around. Barlos setting it up for Chicago and putting his squad up 1-0 right away. Now Daniel will be taking the diagonal kickoff, and will force it quickly into the orange half. Magic Bear, probably a mistake there to pass it up to Daniel, who actually shoots high, but kind of protects the ball, doesn't give an angle to make a play on it, and allows Chicago to get the follow-up and make it a 2-0 lead. This kickoff over to Daniel on the side wall, going to slam a pass to himself off the ceiling for the resets, and ultimately he does get stopped as he reaches the ground. It's something that I've seen a lot of North American players doing. It's going for that ceiling pass into reset, and Magic Bear not challenging Daniel. Daniel recognizing that. He's able to catch the ball and cut it on target for a 3-0 lead. We are 31 seconds into the game, and Daniel has already got his squad cruising, as he is not going to full cheat on this kickoff and going to have the ball passed to him. Magic Bear, pretty impressive bit of mechanics to get back to that one. But now after the demo, Daniel sees an opportunity to force Barlos back, and that's exactly what he's done. But now very patient. He doesn't ever seem to want to go and steal the ball away if he can wait and have it given to him. He prefers that over not. And that actually almost got him in trouble, as he was a bit passive, had to dodge the Magic Bear demo and actually didn't get a touch on the ball. Barlow's going to put one soft on target, but it does find its way behind Daniel. So the other squad going to score just a little bit faster than they did last time, as Chicago cheats up on the kickoff and steals the corner boost. Now throwing back an own goal. Oh, he had so much faith in Daniel. Wait, an insane pre-flip shot. Daniel almost able to slot it. That was just not a good pass, is what I would categorize it as, from Daniel, and yet Chicago found a way to feed Daniel back and give him a chance, and unfortunately for them it was denied, though. Still a 3-1 lead. Chicago going to reverse away. Barlos out of the picture. Daniel, oh my goodness, going for backflip resets in the one-on-one versus Magic Bear. But it's not going to work out. Magic Bear, rank 1 in twos not long ago. I remember him posting on Twitter about it. Whether that was for NA or the whole world, I'm not sure. Magic Bear going to be joined by Justin here in this next split with Gen G. Chicago going to be joined by Zanil. And I have a feeling those two teams are going to be fighting for that last spot. I think 9 Lives will be in it once again. Gen G, they had a couple rough events. Oh my goodness, the double reset from Daniel and the perfect roll through at the end to push it out ahead. Maybe that means Gen G is going to fall out and Chicago will take their place, but honestly, Chicago won't have Daniel on his team then, so who's to say? I think those guys will be fighting for it. It'll be one of the interesting stories to watch. I would expect NRG to be able to do just fine. Did we just see Daniel check his phone there? They're gonna get scored on. He stopped moving or something and then kept moving, and I don't know if he's playing the game and thinking, maybe I need to just stop and this is the right spot to be, Messi style, or if he's just like, what's on my phone? What notification was that? Either way, it is going to be a second goal. Chicago going to do it all by himself, and this actually looks like a moment in which he maybe went to go check it again because his controller just stopped moving. No wheel movement. Now 5-2. Daniel got to get it past the orange team, going for a reset at ceiling height. Wants a double reset, gets it, and seems to be freestyling again here. It's one thing that I've noticed from a couple of these Daniel games is his team gets leads early, and even when he doesn't, it seems like he's just kind of moving around the field fairly carefree. And it's probably something that we will see a lot from the mechanical leaders in the game, because I feel like they almost are going to get bored. Like, there's almost no real challenge for them to, play against if they're playing just regular ranked 2s, as sweaty as they can. Not to say that Magic Bear and Barlos aren't good opponents, but I think these guys who are the best of the best are really going to have to just work on their movement in their own ways, and that might mean kind of freestyling around the map when it comes to 2s. I hear that NRG does a lot of free play, and Daniel specifically is a guy who likes to just kind of play in free play as a way to train, which certainly keeps the improvements to himself and doesn't allow anyone else in North America to kind of train off him if he's just staying in his own free play session. But now he's bringing the free play to ranked as well, as he's going to pinch this one away to Magic Bear, who's going to launch to the ceiling. Chicago doing a good job of just intercepting that initial play. Barlos not really giving a ton in the follow-up, as now Daniel will clear it down to the other side of the field. Actually really interesting to see him go up and kind of look to play the ball there on 0 boost. I felt like he was not going to stand a chance at making a play, and it made sense to just go pick up the 100, but showing that it's important to stick around, whether something happens for you or even just to pressure the opposition. What was their plan there? It seemed like Daniel was maybe trying to pull off the ball and give Chicago an angle, or he was trying to put it to that side wall like he eventually did. But these guys seem to be cruising to the finish here with 30 seconds left to go. Can they put on any more freestyle type goals, as this long shot should be able to get stopped? Daniel has just enough to work with. Lands on the post, and Magic Bear a little bit too roundabout on a shot attempt that probably needed to be directly at the net. But I'm excited to watch some North Americans. North America not looking too bad here in this last RLCS major. Sure, there's no question that KC were the kings of all, but KC was dominating EU as well, and then, two of those top 4 teams were North America, this NRG squad and the Ultimate squad. Oh my goodness, what a nice finishing dribble, but it is going to get stopped. But of course, Chicago puts it on, and they're quickly out of the lobby. A nice 918-point game for Mr. Daniel. Looking solid in rank 2s. He's rank 1. Hopefully we see some more nice gameplay when it comes to RLCS.